Hello Virgo, and welcome to your monthly horoscope for November for the Sun or the Ascendant. I'm going to give you an overview, and then please stay with me. I will then dive deep and give you a much deeper analysis of your prospects. So as we come into this new month, the great news is the passionate energies of Mars has bustled its way into your third house. Now, people who have Mars in Gemini, which is very third house-like, or in the third house, tend to be very passionate communicators. And the chances are from now through to the middle of December, if there are things that you do want to express your ideas around, you can do so with gusto. But also, as we begin this month, the Sun is in Scorpio too, but it's in a right angle with the rather more limiting energies of Saturn. So you may just feel that your energy in some ways is up, and in other ways there could be a little bit of frustration. But this month is also characterized by the fact that we have a polarity between the energy in the sign of Scorpio, your third house of everyday communications, and the ninth house where Uranus is, which is about opening up your world to exciting new vistas. And Uranus is going to be in opposition with the Sun, Mercury and Mars throughout this month. So I think there's going to be some passionate discussions. You may find yourself talking into the wee small hours if you're someone who's interested in philosophy. But if you are going to be travelling anywhere, it's probably best to expect that there could be not necessarily delays, but certainly some frustrations along the way. So please stay with me for your deeper analysis. But if you're new to my channel, I'd be honoured if you would subscribe. Please click or tap on the bell notification symbol. Also, if you'd like to get your free written daily horoscope fired to your device each morning, well, you can subscribe to mine. I've been writing these for over 25 years. My work is used on major platforms around the world and by Britain's most read newspaper, The Metro. Please see the link below. And finally, with year 2022 racing up, if you want to get your personal forecast plus a character analysis and 30% off, if you buy it now, I will give you the rest of this year free. This is based on your time, date and place of birth, so it can help you ascend above this Zodiac broadcast and help you to understand the trends and implications for you at a very deep level. Again, please see the link below. So Virgo, as we come into this new month, the Sun is in an electric opposition to Uranus. So Uranus over the last couple of years is pushing you to open up your world, to embrace more daring adventures. Even if you're someone who's quite a lot of a home lover, perhaps new destinations to holiday on you would have visited if it wasn't for the COVID regulations. Or it may be a course of learning or a new interest. Something's giving you the appetite to shake up your world in some kind of radical way. And this can be a month that you start to put some plans into operation. But I think there is going to be a lot of tension this month and the potential for you to feel a little bit on edge. Because you're someone who's very good at managing situations in a very systematic and step-by-step way. You know, your precision is what really defines you. If you encounter obstacles or things change suddenly, which is very Uranian, it's just about taking it all in your stride and not getting too invested in those delays. Now, Mercury, your ruler, does emerge from shadow from the recent retrograde, which finished on the 18th of October. That emerges from shadow on the 3rd of this month. So if there has been a financial issue that's just been niggling around and has been hard to resolve, I think that should hopefully just all fade away sweetly as this new month begins. But on the 4th, we do have a new moon. A new moon is an opportunity to set our intentions, and this is around how you think, your ideas, your everyday communication. It can be linked to your interactions with people in your neighbourhood, or it can be to do with siblings. Now, technology is also governed by the third house, and also and it may seem a little strange, motorcycles and cycles. So if you've been thinking about buying an electric bike, for example, you'd be surfing the energies that this month provides to you absolutely perfectly. The reason for that is that Uranus is very much about innovation, so very much linked to any technology which can help to save the environment, because obviously Uranus is in Taurus, which is very much about the earth. But I digress. So over the next month, I think there's going to be those lively exchanges. You may be moving around quite a lot. It may be a bit helter-skelter. There may be last-minute changes of plan. And also on the 5th, as Mercury makes its way into the sign of Scorpio, it goes into opposition from the 11th through to the 14th against Uranus too. So your nervous system could be particularly revved up across those group of days. So if you can get to bed early, just get some good exercise. Try to put any stresses and strains that you encounter into perspective. That will be helpful. But also on the 5th, there is a glorious event, because Venus, the planet of love and affection, moves into the most beautiful part of your situation, the 5th house. Now ordinarily Venus takes 28 days to move through each zodiac sign, but it's going to be here through to the 6th of March. This is because of a retrograde which begins on the 19th of December. Also, for much of December, which I'll tell you more about next time, Venus is very close to the planet of transformation, Pluto, which has probably been having a big impact on your creative talents, your love life, and just in general your passions since 2008. So I think if you are wanting to interact with people and make something happen that's significant around your love life, then this can be a month when there can be lots of buzzy exchanges, which could be very exciting, but a little bit unpredictable. Now, in week 2, Mars, which is finding its feet in the sign of Scorpio, a planet it's happy, a zodiac sign, that it's happy in, because it's in dignity here. It rules the sign of Scorpio historically in a more traditional astrological way. Well, Mars is in a square with Saturn. Now Saturn and Jupiter continue in your sector of structures, details, health, fitness, diet. And of course, you have a natural gift for these things anyway, a real attunement to those areas. And up until last month, both were in retrograde, which wasn't proving very helpful. But this Mars square with Saturn can actually create more nervous tension, because Mars is about passion and action, and Saturn is about resistance. Saturn's in a picky, detailed part of your scope, whereas Mars is in a much more freewheeling area. So for that week, it may feel that constraints close in upon you a little bit, and that part of you that Uranus is pushing you to embrace, that free-spirited part and adventurous part of your nature, that could be pushed back, and you may be having to take care of some sort of more core elements of your situation. But stay positive, Virgo, because also in week 2, the Sun in Scorpio, which is very good for you generally, because Earth, your sign, carries water like the bed of a river, which Scorpio is a water sign. Well, the Sun is forging a very transformational angle to Pluto in your 5th house. So those conversations you have about the things that really inspire you, whether it is a love relationship, it is an interest, a hobby, or what your children are doing, which is providing delights to you, that can bring about some significant changes in your outlook and your approach to life, which can be lasting. But on the 18th, Venus does go into shadow. So as much as there are opportunities for a new relationship or an improvement in harmony in an existing one, we have to work at it. The planets don't give us anything on a plate. It's what we do that really counts. And then on the 19th, there is a full moon in your sister Earth sign of Taurus. Again, the 9th house, very much to do with truth, wider travel, opening up your horizons to new opportunities. But this one is forging a very positive angle to Pluto. Generally, I think this can be a very helpful full moon. So it's kind of saying to you, if there's something in your life that you're resisting, or an idea that you've got that you're enthusiastic about, that someone close to you is resisting, I think they can become much more in tune with where you're coming from over the following 2 weeks. Now, Jupiter does square this particular full moon, so even if you do find that things are starting to develop for you, that part of your nature, which is very thorough, is still going to be very helpful to you, because Jupiter squaring the moon can see us almost get too carried away with ourselves and being a bit too generous with our resources and scattering ourselves somewhat. You may feel a little bit resentful at times this month about the things that you're actually usually very solid around, working hard, being a good colleague, looking out for others. Some of those things could have less of an appeal. I think generally you're looking for a much more exciting adventure. But on the 22nd, the Sun moves into Sagittarius, followed by your ruler Mercury on the 24th. And the last 10 days of this month, broadly, are much more to do with you just pausing and thinking more about issues to do with security. It's just that Mars does go into a very abrasive opposition with Uranus in week 3. If you're traveling anywhere, I think it's particularly important that you don't try to rush the journey. Just enjoy the scenery. If you can take a longer route and just windle along and enjoy having a bit of a road trip, then do it. Don't be too keen to go from A to B at the speed of light, because that's not necessarily going to be good for you. And if you are talking about any contracts or there's any conflicts that may need to be resolved, it's going to be important not to be too forceful in your approach, because or too impulsive even, because it probably won't be very helpful to you. And yet Mercury does forge a very constructive link to Saturn as this month draws to a close. So if you can slow things down, focus on the details, there may be something that you can reorder around your home situation. Perhaps it's decluttering, getting things working more neatly, getting better storage. All these things are right up your street ordinarily, but this is a month where I think if you can get out and about, travel, be more spontaneous, do things a little bit more off the cuff, it will work the energy that's there in a much better way for you.